We are always trying to find you guys the coolest motor coaches in the world, and today it's an honor to be here in Suffolk, Virginia at the Featherlite factory with Jimmy Adams. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Andrew. Welcome to Virginia. It's getting a little cooler out now. I know you're coming out of Florida, but we're glad to have you up here on the southern end of the Chesapeake Bay. This is home for us, and we're really excited to be sharing with you the very latest Epic coach today.
We had a chance to see the first Epic motor coach down in Florida earlier this year. We got a great feedback from the viewers, but this is my first time here at the Featherlite factory. And a lot of people out there know of Featherlite coaches, but Epic Motor Coaches has recently made a pretty big splash in the motor coach industry. What's the difference between the two?
So there are definite differences. We're at the Featherlite factory because we are the exclusive dealer for the Epic Motor Coach. It's really our design. This is our product that we have built by Ultra Coach outside of Atlanta. So this is the latest one. We brought it back to the factory for our final quality audit on it. We're doing some photos and of course video and getting this ready to go to the Tampa, Florida RV Super Show. So this coach was designed in conjunction with Marco Ciotti and his team at Ultra, but it's using our decades of know-how from building motorhomes to basically do a very, very well appointed but very price competitive double slide Prevost X. It shares a lot of the same yacht styling and quality that Featherlite is known for, but you're talking about an amazing value, a price point well below $2 million.
When I stepped inside of this coach, it had a very yacht-like feel, but I was even more surprised when I heard the price. What is the price on this coach?
So this coach is under $2 million. MSRP on this unit right now with full option package on it is $1.89. So we're well below $2 million on this with all of the ride quality, the safety, everything that Prevost brings to the industry with the X3 platform, and then with all of our yacht quality touches inside.
Yes, sir, and to my knowledge, most of the Prevost conversions are pushing on that $3 million number, so to get the Prevost shell with an incredible build at this price point, I think is really filling a void in the market that RVers out there are gonna really appreciate, and I can see a lot more of these running around here in the near future.
You're right. And when we see a lot of people in the RV marketplace that really aspire to step up to what was always called the ultimate class, you know, go from a class A to the ultimate, which is the Prevost motor coach. And it became almost too much of a jump to make. But now we've got a product here that is sub 2 million. It's really competitive with high-end class A, and it's well below the $3 million Featherlite price point. So this is kind of a Goldilocks type coach that is a great piece for people who want to get into the Prevost lifestyle, didn't think they can afford it. This is the coach for them.
Yes, sir, and we were looking around the Featherlite facility earlier, and you were telling us about some of the really cool Featherlite coaches, more of a bespoke custom coach that can really push on it. And I was asking you, how does this get to $3 million? And you were telling me some cool stories about some of the cool stuff that people put into their Featherlites. What do they do to get to that $3 million mark?
Well, Featherlite offers a level of customization I don't think you'll find anywhere else in the industry. So basically, if you have the budget and we have the time, within reason, we will build you whatever you dream. So that's a big difference on price point. So we can go in excess of $3 million on a fully custom Featherlite. But the idea with the Epic coach is to have some basic floor plan options that we have found were very successful, very popular. You have a full selection of 4 different interiors, and then the exterior paint is fully custom to the owner's wishes, and getting all that for sub 2 million. A lot of value, we feel like.
And this floor plan, the styling, the design is extremely impressive. Now, you talked about Marco, who's leading the build on these coaches, and his background in the yachting industry. Now, he also has some experience converting some Prevost buses before the Epic motor coach. What is his background?
So Marco first came on my radar. I started seeing some of his product. You know, he was based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, kind of, you know, in an epicenter of boat building, yacht building, which, you know, very similar to us here on the southern end of the Chesapeake Bay. Marco was doing a lot of work on high-end yachts and a lot of luxury homes. Then he started converting some Prevost motor coaches and really found his niche. And that business took off for him specifically within the entertainment business. So I knew about his product when I saw these amazing star coaches. So if you're not familiar in the entertainer coach business, you basically see crew coaches or band coaches that are like 12 bunks inside. And then there's what they call a star coach, which is typically more like a motorhome. It might usually only have one bunk set, and then the star stays on board. So he was doing that high-end star coach for some amazing talents out there, and the product looked awesome. So we felt like, hey, this is someone who shares a lot of our vision for design, and we see his quality. He had a very good reputation, and we did a long-term deal together where he would build a luxury motorhome to our spec exclusively for us at Featherlite.
I know a lot of those A-list music artists out there have the highest level of expectations. So when he's able to meet their expectations, I think he's going to be able to keep up with the high-end RVers' expectations as well.
Yeah, so Marco was building an amazing product, and particularly reliable, because again, these artists are using it night after night, and they're going city to city, so they really don't have time in this tight schedule for any types of significant breakdowns. So he had the reliability, he had a really nice aesthetic, and we helped him take it to a whole next level for our motorhome product, the Epic Motorcoach.
Well, and you have a lot of experience building Featherlites here, so I'm sure there's a lot of information that can be exchanged to help Marco build the highest quality product.
Yep.
Now, what is a little bit about the Featherlite background? And I know you also have the Amatis coaches. Yep. What's your background and what's the Featherlite background, and how did you get tied into all of this?
Sure, so it's a long story, but I'll make it as short as I can. So I have been in the industry since around 1997. So I know you said, hey, are you sure you're that old?
Yeah.
I started when I was in 6th grade. No, not really, but no, I'm 52 now. I've got a lot of time doing this. I've been doing this since I was in my 20s with Amatis Coach. So Amatis Coach, we were building mainly executive type coaches and some motorhome. And then we started building more and more motorhome under the Amatis Coach brand. We were sold exclusively at the time through Tom Johnson Camping Center. So our great friends in North Carolina were handling the product, selling a lot into NASCAR. And then we got on Featherlite's kind of radar there, and we had started an agreement there where we were building some product and private labeling it for Featherlite. As the economy got tough in 2008, 2009, we had an opportunity to actually acquire Featherlite's brands, intellectual property, their designs, and that book of business, and we moved the construction of the Featherlite luxury coaches here to our facility in Suffolk. So this is a facility that we have owned since 2004, so we moved it out of a leased facility in Florida, and we have an amazing group of people here who really started in the yacht building business. So again, that thing in common with Marco, and so the Featherlites are built here. Along the way, with the pandemic, demand went through the roof. We did not have enough capacity here to meet that, and we had a lot of new buyers and entry-level folks who didn't want $3 million. They wanted sub $2 million. This is our solution, the Epic Motorcoach.
Yes, sir. Great compliment to what you have already going on. And I know you don't like to name drop, but I've got a name drop. We saw a NASCAR Legends coach getting ready to take delivery. The world famous Rusty Wallace has a new Featherlite that we're going to video here. But you're still really tied into that racing circuit, the NASCAR scene.
We are. So again, that's one of our pieces of our significant piece of our heritage is racing and motorsport. I've been a racer, since I was a teenager. I'm still active. Actually, I raced in Sebring 2 weeks ago. So I love the racing side. Racing, motorcycle, collector cars, that's really in our ballpark here, what we love to do. And having racing customers that are friends has been an honor for us. So yeah, we've got a brand new Featherlite quad slide motorhome just being prepared for delivery to NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace. Really proud of that, and proud of the relationship and friendship we've had over the years with Rusty and his family.
Yes, sir, and you're an RVer yourself. When I first met you, you were actually partying with Rusty Wallace out in Sturgis about 10 years ago, and you're out there every year, at the racetracks, using these coaches. So you have a lot of knowledge about this industry that I think is a perfect crossover to bring a product like this into the market. It's just a really good fit. We're really excited to see what's going on.
We are too, and I think the relationship with Marco and his team, we talk every week, and really just follow along with the builds. We do regular visits there, and it's really been a win-win. win because he helps us gain capacity, deliver a very unique product in the marketplace, and he also learns from us. We have a tremendous amount of knowledge within the Featherlite team that really helped get this product ready to go in pretty unbelievable amount of time. I mean, it took about a year to prepare this, but to have a competitive product in the Prevost industry is not something that's easily done. So we're really proud of what this partnership has produced.
And to bring the right options and not too many bells and whistles to keep the cost down, a really sweet product. Now, the first Epic Motor Coach that we saw, I know you were using as a show coach, so it wasn't quite available for sale yet. Is that coach going to become available, or is this coach going to become available?
This is absolutely available. So we want to hold on to it to get through the Florida RV Super Show in January, and we'd like to be able to take it to Prevost Motorhome Expo, but Jeff Williams and Eric Woolley, our sales team, are already fielding calls on this because people have seen some sneak peek photos of it, and there's a ton of interest. Fingers crossed we're going to have it for the shows, and then we'll deliver it shortly thereafter.
Yeah, and if you have a chance to see this coach at the Tampa Super Show or the Prevost Show, we try to show you guys his best with the cameras, but there's nothing like seeing them in person. So if you're serious about this coach, definitely worth getting in touch with Jimmy and his team to have a private showing at the show. Just an incredible product here.
Yeah, so we'll be at the Florida RV Super Show that's in Tampa at the fairgrounds. Please do, if you're interested in the coach, we want to show you the coach. We don't typically leave it open for the public. We want to have a high quality experience for the people that make the time to come out and see us that are, as you say, a real and qualified potential customer. So what we'll do is take time, let you actually get to go through the coach with one of our professionals, can answer your questions. You're not going to be in there with a bunch of people milling about. You can see the coach and have a nice experience. So just come say hi. Often we can take you right away. If not, we'll put you on first available, get it on your schedule, and make a quality showing for you.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to try to get the best quality showing. I've got all kinds of questions I want to ask you about this coach, but do you think we could take a closer look through the bays before we go inside?
Yeah, let's do it, because a few things have changed since the first Epic coach, and we're always learning. I don't rarely build things exactly the same year over year. So as new year model comes out, we take what we learn, make a few tweaks, try to make our product better year after year after year. So there'll be a few new things you'll get to see.
Yeah, I think there's some twin 5,000 watt inverters, which to see a product at this price point with the twin 5,000 watt inverters, that's a pretty beefy electrical system. Now, I know lithium batteries have been getting really popular. Does this coach have lithium, or is it an option?
Yeah, so it's an option. This has the Lifeline AGM batteries, which have been a bedrock for us for years. That's such a great product, and it's a good price point. We have a lithium option for this coach. Actually, those cells will slide into the same rack. We just add heating element so that they maintain their proper operating temperature, if you're in the winter, and you're good to go. The energy density is higher with the lithium, but the product is also more expensive. So trying to keep it as competitive price-wise as we can, we went with AGM as standard, and lithium's your option.
And do you know about what the cost is for that lithium option?
I think it's an additional $25,000.
So the two Epic coaches we've seen have been on the X345 chassis, and most of the Featherlites that I've seen, I think all the Featherlites I've seen are on the H3, usually triples or quad slides. What's the difference between the two chassis, and why are they on different Prevost shells?
So Featherlite, we're really known for building out the H3 platform from Prevost. One of the big advantages to the Featherlite product and why we use the H is because we can do up to 4 slide rooms on that platform. So the H3 is a taller coach overall. Actually, the bay height is taller. The interior height is slightly less than an X3. So the X3 is up to 2 slides maximum. So this, all the Epics are double slide X. The bay floor is a little bit lower than an H, but the interior height is amazing in the X. Again, we were talking about kind of the genesis of Marco and Ultra on the entertainer and star bus side. Part of the reason Prevost builds the tall interior for the X is so that you can get 3 comfortable bunks stacked in the coach. So it works for entertainers and stars, but it's perfect for a family-focused coach like the Epic. So we've got the tall interior height. The other thing about the Prevost X3 is it is unmistakably a Prevost coach. Look at this polished stainless steel skins. This is something you're only going to find on a Prevost. You see it on the road, and there is no doubt that's a Prevost.
Yes, sir. If you go to any big concert anywhere, there's a good chance you're going to see the stars of that show are walking out of a Prevost backstage somewhere. You see these Prevost X's parked at stadiums, or if you follow any A-list celebrities, social media, there's a good chance they're hanging out around a Prevost. One of the most vital tools in that industry for transportation to get them from show to show.
For sure. I mean, Prevost, the X3 dominates the entertainer business in North America. If they call it rock star ride, the X3 gives you with the long wheelbase. It's amazing. It's unbeatable.
Well, and I think a reason that they choose the Prevost is because when you're going down the road, a lot of times they need to sleep while the bus is going down the road. It's such a solid ride. Comparing this to like a production motorhome or production RV, not even the same ballpark, not even close.
No comparison there. So you'll never see a production style coach in that type of application. We have Prevost product out there that has been in service, comes back to us for service. Just recently, one that was in excess of 1.3 million miles. Original cabinetry, original bath and galley and everything in it. Really just getting upholstery updates. So these coaches are built like tanks.
So RVers looking for that highest quality ride, this is a great option for them, especially at this price point. There's other production motorhomes that are tapping on that $1.7 million MSRP. So to get to this,
it's not a big jump, but there's a huge jump in ride quality and in safety. Again, a lot of new families that are new to the RVing lifestyle have come to us. They've got the means to do something like this, and the safety makes a huge difference. Prevost builds a full stainless steel cage construction under these stainless steel skins, and the parent company is Volvo company. They're really known for their focus on safety. That's a big difference from a Class A.
I'm really excited about this product. Now, going into the bays of this coach, what can we find in the bays here?
The X3 basically has 3 really large under bay storage areas. So these are really wide doors, really heavy duty doors. These are pantographing up here on the patio side, which is actually really nice because the doors are not going to flip out into your patio space. So you've got awnings above to cover this space, give you access to your storage bay, which is bay 1 here on the patio side. You've got a big slide tray here that's all aluminum. It's the heavy duty Slide Master. This is a manual tray, which I like because of the simplicity. We have the option for a motorized tray if you'd like, but this is some of the best equipment you can get in the industry. Very heavy duty stuff. It's aluminum, but still very, very, very sturdy.
And talking about being sturdy and the feel of it, when you open and close these bay doors, and even that
the entry door,
even the entry door up here.
Yeah, I love this. That's one of the things about a Prevost. This entry door on the X3, it's got the big handle, and you feel that thing click when you open it, and when you close it, it is like a vault.
Yes, sir.
It's unmistakable. It reminds me of the old Porsche 911. There was a very direct closing mechanism, and this has that similar feel, but this door must weigh 100 pounds, and it is so solid.
Yeah, you're not second guessing if the door closed. You know it's shut firmly and ready to go down the road.
Absolutely.
And the same thing with the bay doors as well, very robust.
The bay doors, Prevost continues to make updates and manufacturing improvements to these doors. So it's a stainless steel skin, and then the inside of these doors are actually like a deep drawn aluminum. So this is much the same way that like Ford draws down the body panels on their trucks. So it's got all of this shape in it that also gives it strength, but it maintains its lightweight, but very, very strong.
I want to open this door just to feel it. It's not only the sound, but you can just really feel that quality. And I was happy to see the twin 5,000 watt inverters here. Yeah. Those are much beefier than we see in a lot of the other product out there.
They are, and this is bigger than the very first Epic coach you saw. It had a very nicely equipped electrical system, Victron Energy Systems again, and we went from the 3,000 watt to the 5,000 watt per unit Quattro. So you've got 10 kW of power right there available while you're underway or dry camping if you're not on shore power or gen. And you've got a big bank of high performance AGM batteries here. So So these are the Lifeline. It's the pure lead thin plate high performance AGM battery. We get amazing performance out of these batteries, but we also have a lithium battery option for it. There's a great Victron energy product that's lithium, but higher price point. So that's an option available if you prefer lithium for longer dry camp time.
Now, even though these aren't lithium batteries, with those big 5,000 watt inverters, are you still able to run the AC units while the coach is going down the road?
Great question, Andrew. You can. You can run up to 2 of the 15,000 BTU roof airs simultaneously going down the road without needing the genset. So we've got 10,000 watts of inverter power here. You've got the 6 AGM batteries, but the coach is equipped with 5 alternators, 24 volt alternators from Prevost. So you've got that OEM alternator pack that is making serious power while you're underway to feed the energy tank, the battery banks, and let these 10,000 watt of inverter power run 2 air conditioners while you're en route, plus your refrigerator, microwave, all the other AC components inside.
Yeah, that makes a big difference for the end user, having that extra power. Sometimes we don't think about, having bigger inverters and how much that affects you as an end user, but being able to run those 2 AC units without running the generator, just keeping the noise down, very cool setup here.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing on the electrical side here. Again, they worked with us on a lot of this design. They do a great job on the execution. You'll notice a very neat breaker panel system here. So this is all AC and DC breakers that are all the high-end Blue Sea systems. So this is, again, a yachting supplier. We use the same system on the $3 million Featherlite coach, and now we've got it introduced into the Epic coach.
So it seems like a pretty simple electrical system overall, not too complex. It seems like they're trying to keep everything really simple, very accessible.
Yes, yeah, very accessible for service. Keep it as simple as we can. It's primarily a 24 volt system, so 24 volt alternators on the coach engine, 24 volt battery bank, 24 volt on the inverter chargers. So, by coming up from 12 to 24 volt, it lets us run actually a little bit smaller gauge wire to help save weight as well. The system has been flawless to this point, and the control system is from Firefly. So it's pretty known in the industry and a nice touch panel that's specific to us.
Yeah, very user friendly, yes sir.
Yes, absolutely, and they're good on the service side. It's well known. Bay 3, entertainment center. You've got a large Ultra HD smart TV, and again, premium components here. So you've got the full Bose sound system, the high-end Bose soundbar, plus Bose's subwoofer for amazing sound outside. Coach is set up for streaming services. Again, most of our newer generation customers really aren't looking at traditional satellite television anymore. They all go to streaming. So this comes standard with the large in-motion Starlink internet system.
If you want to really have a party at the campground, having a subwoofer outside in your bay, I don't think I've seen too many motor coaches with a subwoofer in their exterior bay. The neighbors may not like you too much if you get a little too loud, but always nice to have that option.
Well, you got the Rockstar ride. You want this thing to rock when you're outside, and we've been accused of being a little bit of the life of the party. So
I've seen you guys at Sturgis. I've been to some of your parties. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, if we're going to put sound on here, it's going to rock. So this is a great system. So big flat screen TV, and I love setting up out here to be able to tailgate or watch a race. So this pulls out. You got a ton of patio space out here because we don't have slide rooms coming out, and we've got full length awnings the whole way down the patio side of the coach.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage of the double slide, is the easier access to the bays, but then we also gain some space underneath the awnings. Now, can we put these big patio awnings out?
Sure. So that's the first, and I'll do the aft second one here.
And are these standard, these huge awnings standard on the Epic Motor Coach?
These are. So this is a Girard multi-stage awning package. This is standard on every Epic. The other side of the coach actually has the awning boxes to keep the look correct, and that is an option to be able to add full awnings on the driver's side if you prefer to do that.
Okay, and I really like the lighting in the awnings. Is the lighting standard in these
standard
awnings?
As well, yep.
And that really comes in handy when you're, out at Sturgis at nighttime having a party, that extra light underneath.
And I like the patio lighting on the awning lead rails like this in lieu of having lights on the side of the coach like shining out at you. We used to do that, but they're kind of bright. This is a really nice soft light that lights the whole patio area.
Yeah, a little less in your face, very subtle indirect lighting. And this is incredible, you know, how much space we have under awning. If it's raining outside, or I'm sure at the racetracks, a lot of times people pull a car right up here, keep the car underneath
or the
awning.
motorcycles underneath the awnings.
Yes, sir.
You have your tables and everything set up, so we've got 40 feet of awning on this coach.
Definitely the ultimate tailgate setup, plug and play if you want to tailgate somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. So this has been super popular with all of the customers loving to have the outside living, and the awnings are just the thing that makes a difference for us, and having the lighting integrated, I love that.
Now I don't see a handle on this next bay, but I see some ventilation here.
Yes.
What's going on here?
So this is a bay where the driver, or the cockpit air conditioning system from Prevost, so this is the OEM over-the-road driver's air. So you can trigger this bay to access it for service, but this is all the air conditioning system for the driver's area. And then this is the locked door for your fuel system. You can fill from both sides of the coach. It'll hold 203 gallons of diesel fuel, so significant amount of range. We're typically seeing around 7 miles to the gallon with this X3, and 203 gallons on board, so you can hit the road and keep on getting it.
And I recently had a chance to take a Prevost Featherlite on a road trip helping a friend move a coach.
Oh, great.
I put almost 1,000 miles down in one day, and driving a Prevost versus driving other motorhomes, it was like driving a car almost. It didn't beat me up. Like sometimes I feel very fatigued after driving motorhomes. I don't know what it was about that Featherlite, 1,000 miles, and I was like ready to, you know, go out and play around a golf or something.
Andrew, I've had the same experience, and even compared to cars. So Featherlite Coaches of Florida is in Sanford, Florida. It's over 600 miles from where we are here in southeastern Virginia, and I will regularly either drive down in a BMW, which is a very nice highway car, and return with a coach. I actually feel fresher coming out of the Prevost when I get here than I do when I arrive there in a European car. I mean, the ride quality is unbeatable.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a heavier machine. It's not jolting you
You're not
as
having
much.
to make the steering inputs all the time.
Exactly. Until you really go out and do it and put down like 1,000 miles or put down a lot of miles, it's hard to explain it to people. But I recently had that opportunity, and I'm sold. Just an incredible machine.
Well, and that's what they, you know, all the old Prevost sales guys have always said. You know, if you don't want to buy one, don't drive one.
Yes, sir. That's true. Yes, sir. To keep the turning radius tight on this coach, some of the coaches out there have a steerable tag axle, liftable tag axle. What does this coach do to help tighten that turning radius?
So the Prevost X has a lifting tag axle. When you get in a slow speed situation, you flip a button and it'll lift that tag and really help your turning radius tighten up. In the commercial coach industry, one of Prevost's competitors offered a steering tag. We get a lot of questions, why not a steering tag? Steering tag is an interesting feature, but what they found in commercial coach application is it's a whole nother set of suspension components that wear out, and you start getting, you know, you have to align it, and then, you know, the ball joints and all of these things. So Prevost has always opted to just lift the rear tag. The coach is still very stable and turns very sharp, and you don't have that additional potential maintenance issue of having a full steering tag. So that's what they've done. It's been very successful, and we've been very pleased with it.
Yeah, they're trying to keep these buses as low maintenance as possible.
And reliable. So, you know, maintenance cost is one thing, and, you know, you can't knock a tie rod end off of a lifting tag.
Yes, sir. Understandable. Coming back here to the rear of the coach, I'm noticing some more ventilation here. Why is there ventilation on this part of the coach?
So now we're back into Prevost electrical and engine compartment. So this arrives to us with the laser cut doors set up to let air in and out of the coach. It's all been engineered that way, but this is a pantographing door. So it actually comes out and folds forward for easiest access to the Prevost electrical and engine. These are the Prevost chassis batteries here. These are AGM batteries now, high performance AGM, and then they have a really robust system for all of the Prevost electrical switch gears. In here, you're gonna have like the Prevost relays for the chassis, and then we actually pull charge here as well. So that's our 200 amp circuit breaker, another Blue Sea breaker in the floor down there for our primary DC heading up to the driver's area of the coach. So a nice waterproof box, you know, heavy duty setup here.
And is that from Prevost?
This is from Prevost, so all stainless steel, really nice cam over center locking with gasketed doors. So this is heavy duty, million-mile-plus equipment here.
Is that newer? You know, I don't touch as many late model X3s, but on the XL2s, I don't recall seeing those.
They did not have this, so this is new. And lastly, here you'll see our bus to house battery merge. If you got in a situation where your house batteries went down, or vice versa, if your bus cranking batteries went down, you can actually merge the house over to the bus to get your main engine cranked up.
A jump start off of your other battery bank.
Exactly. So this is a manual override for it, but it's actually controlled at the dash. So you can flip the switch at the dash, get yourself cranked, and put it back in the normal position. Also in this compartment is the release for the main engine hatch, so we can get full access to the Volvo D13 engine. But the way this hatch raises up, it's got gas shocks and then a safety stop. You've got remote engine start back here if you need it for troubleshooting, and then really nice access to the engine. So again, 13-liter Volvo. We've got it equipped with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alternators on board. So we're making a tremendous amount of power at 24 volts from the main engine. And it's got the new Prevost system as far as how it controls the alternators. Prevost has a really intelligent system that, for example, if you're going to coast downhill coming down a mountain or coasting up to a traffic light from speed, it sees you off throttle and it can actually know to full field the alternators to put max charge. It puts actually some load on the engine to help with engine braking. At the same time, it's putting energy back into the onboard battery storage.
Yes, they're getting smarter and smarter every year, always learning.
It's really slick. It's really slick, and just adds efficiency and really helps, you know, with us running the air conditioners and other things going down the road. So to have the smart alternator control is a big bonus from Prevost.
Yes, sir. And 20,000 pound towing capacity.
Yep, that's right. It's got the Prevost heavy duty hitch package on it. So 20,000 pound towing capacity on this coach. And what you'll find with Prevost is, you know, the way they rate things are all at like super high duty cycle. I've seen people do more without a problem, but you know, 20,000 pounds, they know that it'll do it for years and years and years without failure.
Yes, sir. I see you and all your buddies with those stacker trailers behind the Prevost out at Sturgis. Those are loaded up year after year. You guys are out there. For the radiator, I know Prevost went to the electric fans around that same 2018, 19 era.
18, 19 era. So this does have the full electric fan drive. So again, you see the laser cut stainless panel. We can open this up to see all 8 fans. So these fans are supplying cooling air to the main engine radiator plus the charge air cooler for the turbo system. Previously, Prevost and with their Detroit powered coaches ran one very large mechanically driven fan that had a big clutch system. And from what we understand, you know, that fan system could consume up to 70 horsepower. Typically, you would hear that fan clutch and everything kick in as you were on a climb, right? So you're starting to make a lot of horsepower, a lot of heat, and now, you know, you actually have a parasitic drain on the power output. So the big difference here is we've been putting energy into the battery bank while we're coasting down, and we're only going to turn on however many fans we need, and it's going to be pulling energy from the batteries where it's stored. It's keeping the alternator switched off while we're climbing, using battery power from the battery bank to start to turn however many fans you need, and you're still enjoying maximum horsepower, putting it to the ground when you're climbing or you're needing it, you know, accelerating away from a traffic light or whatever, towing a big stacker. So the horsepower output didn't change on the D13, but the available horsepower is up by around 70 horsepower from from what we're understanding.
That's a pretty big difference. And now that's been in a lot of buses over the last 5 years, but people are really appreciating that update.
Yeah, people have been really, really happy with this. And we've actually seen some of the larger fleets, like the entertainer coach guys, are beginning to do some conversions that had mechanical fans. They're actually converting these over because of the efficiency and the additional power that it puts to the ground. Another cool feature, Prevost has some video of this, is when they're testing, they're up in a winter environment, it can get snow in here or foreign material, whatever. And these are actually programmed when they see flow drop off, they'll reverse and blow snow or whatever else, leaves out the side to clean themselves. So really smart system. The engineers at Prevost are top notch.
That can prevent a lot of problems. I know back in the day, the bus drivers would have to be out here, scraping the ice off.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So it takes care of itself.
Yes, sir. Coming around to the slide room on this coach, Prevost has a really unique look, the way they tie the windows around from the side of the slide room, almost like a panoramic. It's like a high-rise building window, it reminds me of. We've got a rounded edge here. Yep. Is this slide room from Prevost?
Yeah, so the X3s are all Prevost factory slides, and they do an amazing job. I mean, this is such a beautiful piece that they've done here. So it's like full architectural frameless glass, and they use a really high performance glazing on this glass for thermal heat reduction, and the way that it all seamlessly comes together. And then they have rounded corners on the slides. It's got a pneumatic slide seal system that basically inflates wherever you stop the slide. It'll inflate and seal it in that position. So it's a really nice feature to have. Like, if you're somewhere, tight area, you can only open it halfway, it'll stop and seal itself up even there. Like if you're in a travel center or something, you need to overnight on the side of the highway in a rest area. So you can open them halfway, they'll still seal.
Yeah, and having that slide seal really helps keep cold air out or hot air out. Really helps with climate control, but also road noise. Like you said, if you're at like a truck stop or something, having everything sealed up, it's just so much quieter than other RVs out there. Totally different platform.
Totally, and we found that. I was racing weekend before last at Sebring, stayed on the first Epic coach there, and just the noise of the racetrack can barely penetrate with the stainless steel skins, with the thick OEM insulation from Prevost. Then the additional insulation we add, it really is super quiet inside. The other thing that's really remarkable about these is that compared to a Class A, there's no flange on the slides, so that when they come in, everything lines up. There's no picture frame flange around them or anything like that. It's just a seamless integration with the coach.
Yeah, fully flush, really, really cool look, but there's nothing like being inside of one of these Prevosts, putting the blinds down, having everything sealed up, and you almost forget where you're at. You're almost isolated from the outside world when you're in a bus like this.
Yeah, it feels like you're in a cocoon in there. It's great.
Now, coming in front of the bedroom slide, it looks like there's a bay door here, but I don't see a handle. What is going on behind this door here?
Yeah, so this is the fourth bay. I kind of call it a bonus bay. So if you remember on the patio side, that's a Prevost service bay. It's for the driver's over-the-road AC unit. So here, we actually access this bay. It's one that you don't access on a regular basis, and it's set up like a Prevost service bay, but what we use it for is the AquaHot 600. So, you don't often need to touch the AquaHot. It's the largest AquaHot unit, and it lives in this bay. And also your shore cord output, it's controlled by a remote control, but it'll come out from under the coach just beneath this bay. So this is kind of a bonus bay for us. You've got the touch panel here for your AquaHot, but this is all done inside as well on the Firefly control panels.
Okay, so usually it's going to be a technician accessing this bay, so no need to have the normal handle.
That's right.
That makes sense. And what's the holding tank capacities on the Epic Motorcoach?
Okay, Andrew, you put me on the spot on that last time, and I pulled a number off the top of my head that was too little. Actually, I was wrong, and I undershot it. The holding tank capacity, or let's start with freshwater. Freshwater tank capacity on this is 175 gallons.
Whoa, that's a lot of fresh water.
Yeah, 175 fresh. We do 111 on the gray side and 68 on the black. So we basically have the tanks custom built to maximize the size and capacity we can get in this X3 in Bay 3. So a lot of capacity, and we've got that extra linking valve valve, if necessary, where you can make the gray and black function as one main tank. So if you run out of space on your black and you don't have access, you can actually close the linking valve and link black and gray so they even out and you have a bunch more capacity.
You can do some serious dry camping in this coach. That's close to the biggest tanks in the industry. I don't know of many people offering at that level. That's right up there at the top.
Well, you know, we want that much capacity because it's got an awesome shower in it with a rain shower head and a wand that you can run at the same time.
I'm looking forward to checking out the interior, but let's see what's in these last few bays here.
Okay, so this is bay 3. This is a normal bay that you would access, and it is all of your water systems and plumbing. You're gonna see the big yacht style Headhunter Mach 5 water pump. So this is a 120 volt pump, big flow rates on this. It'll run both shower heads simultaneously, the sink, you can run the dishwasher. It's amazing performance from this pump. This is the same pump we use in the $3 million Featherlite coach.
Yes, sir.
Also out of the boating industry, Glendinning Systems, this is the large size hose reel with the level wind on it, so automatically winds itself back on. But you're gonna see this on the bigger sport fish yachts out there. We fit it to the coach because it's got 75 feet of freshwater hose. Hook it up, let the autofill do its thing. It has an autofill system on it. A sealed GFCI outlet here, so you've got 120 volt in the bay. You've got a gravity fill for water. So if you don't want to use the hose reel or you had any issue with that, you can just gravity fill the tanks here. You've got electric heater in the bay for freeze protection. This also has hydronic heat in the bay, so off of the aqua hot. You've got manifold plumbing here, so you can shut off individually each and every circuit in the coach. Your strainer coming into the water pump, and then auto drains. These are triggered from either out here on the touch panel or inside, and then a linking valve finally if you need to use that. You've got a flush system for your tank flush, whole house water filter, and then a commercial style faucet on the exterior with a sprayer. Just really handy to wash off if you've been out riding dirt bikes or something like that, or you need to clean the dog.
Yes, sir.
And your sewer dump hose storage is right here on the door, as well as your controller for this bay. So it's got your tank monitors, anything from the dumps you can handle. You can do lights, basically most anything in the coach you can do from right here at this touch panel.
Yeah, I like the positioning of that touch panel. I don't know if I've seen another touch panel on the inside of the bay door like that. Yep. And I've got to point out, it's a very industrial, utilitarian feel in this plumbing bay. Not quite as dressed up as the Featherlite bays, but to keep that $1 million in cost down, you gotta sacrifice somewhere, but I like the clean industrial look in here.
Me too. It's basically a wood-free environment there, so it's easy to clean. If you go in the hull on a yacht, you're going to see a similar type of situation.
Right. Now, coming to the bays below the slide room, what do we have going on the driver's side here?
Okay, so we've got 2 bays on the driver's side that are going to actually be swing doors, so that they're easily deployed when the bay has the slide room above. So we've got the big slide room out right now. You'll see Bay 2 again has a laser cut door to get air intake. When you open this, you're going to see our 20 kW generator. So 20,000 watt Durawatt generator. It's basically a factory built unit. So this comes from the Durawatt factory, pre-installed. So this is a tested unit instead of trying to come up with some idea on how we cool it or where we put it. It's one unit that can be put in, can be removed easily if you had to do major service, but it's in what we call a hush box. So you've got a big access panel that comes off. You can get access right here into the generator to work on it. And this has the next generation elastic mounts. So typically we have run airbags on our generators, and this is a change. I had tried elastic mounts because they were really commonplace in the yachting business, in the marine industry. You rarely will see an airbag mount. It's usually an elastomer. When we tried it a few years ago, it just didn't meet our requirements for vibration and noise, and Durawatt has really focused on coming with the next generation of this that is basically equal in performance to an airbag.
And I would think that the marine industry, you know, those waves those boats are going over is probably a little bit rougher than a coach going down the road that's on an air suspension. So if they can keep up with those big yachts, this isn't going to be going through as rough of conditions as a big yacht would.
So it's an easy environment for this to live in, but for what I was looking for was to be able to remove a potential point of failure or a service point. Pneumatic bags are excellent, but you have to pay attention to them. You know, we have seen customers have an issue if a bag blew out and, you know, they were gone from the coach. You know, the generator engine kept running and now it's rubbing and it's causing damage. So you don't have that possibility here, and it works. It takes no additional attention.
Very simple, trying to minimize that maintenance.
Mm-hmm. It makes it maintenance free, but still it performs really well. So the first bay is our full pass-through storage bay. So again, really wide, lots of space for storage in here. We were talking about that slides out the patio side, and you got space here. I usually put storage totes here. You've got manual switches for the slide rooms. These are the Prevost factory switches on the forward bulkhead. Prevost actually puts in their service point for the slide rooms here. So this is the pneumatic and the ECU controls for the Prevost slide rooms. Another unique point from Prevost is this is the electric motor that drives the slide room operation. So it's right here where it's accessible. If you had some type of electrical failure, there's actually an accessible tail shaft on this electric motor. You know, I typically carry a little cordless drill with me, DeWalt or something. You can put a nut driver in there and just run the slide in and out manually. If you got in a tight spot, had some kind of a failure, you're not stuck on the side of the road. You can manually run this slide in right here. So you don't have to take the bay apart to get at the service point.
And all the years that I've been around RV resorts, I've never seen someone have that issue, but really nice to have as a backup.
It is. It's rare. It's kind of a peace of mind to know, okay, if I get in a bind, I know how to take care of it.
If you use a coach enough, you're going to run into some obstacles at some point.
Exactly. Particularly, you have some people that are doing hundreds of thousands of miles on these coaches.
And you put some miles on these coaches yourself. Yeah. How long have you been personally RVing for?
Oh my gosh, you know, I grew up around motor coaches, working on them as a teenager, traveling on them. Took a little break when I was in engineering school, and shortly after started RVing around the country, towing a race car from the tracks all over Canada, California, all over. So I was a big user, and then as I had kids come into the picture, we were doing a lot of travel for fun. So when we saw each other the first time and met out in the Black Hills of South Dakota, as soon as the Sturgis Rally was wrapping up, I don't know if you remember, I flew the family in and we did a big trip out through Yellowstone, came back to the Black Hills. You know, that's an annual deal for us, is to take my wife and 2 kids and do a family trip at least once or twice a year and explore America, as we call it. It's amazing. It's so much fun and we love it.
Yeah, I think that's really important to be an end user of the product, to really understand it when you're building these for the end user. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of little experiences that can help you relate.
Definitely. Yeah. There's no substitute for actually getting out there and using it. So I'm fortunate to have that opportunity.
Now, before we take a look inside the coach, I noticed this front end has a really cool, more updated look than what we've seen in the past. The Prevost badge is a little bit beefier. What year did they make a change in the X model?
So again, I think this was similar. The new X came out about 2 years ago. So it was full structural updates, and then a lot of the electrical system architecture with the electric fan drives. I mean, it was a whole suite of updates they brought. But then that's where you also saw their stylists come in and do the new Prevost badging with the chrome accents that really nicely complement the polished stainless steel. Still got the Hella HID headlights.
Very stylish front end. Definitely has a more updated look over some of the older X's that we've seen. What is the space behind the front end of the coach below the cockpit used for up in the front of the bus?
Yep, so in the front of the coach, you know, you've got basically all the electrical and HVAC systems from Prevost are behind here and between here and the dash. It also incorporates the full Volvo suite of safety systems. So you're going to see, like in the lower bumper area, a radar unit. You're going to see a camera type unit here. So this is all coming together for the alerts that are going to come to the driver, and also things like the automated adaptive cruise braking. So if you're on cruise control, you might not be paying attention, or your attention is drawn away for a moment. It's going to let you know if you're closing too quickly on someone. It's going to show you a light. If you're still getting too close, it's going to give you an audible alert. And if you are just asleep at the wheel, practically, it is going to brake the coach for you automatically. So this is all part of that integrated Volvo safety system.
Yeah, Volvo and Prevost are two brands that are at the top of the list when you think of safety. They both really led their industries in safety. Now, we've seen some other buses where this will kind of fold open. Can we see inside of this area?
Sure. So on the X, the front bumper will actually flip down to give you access to a compartment under there. So I'll come over here to what we call the driver's J-box area. So this door opens. It's not for access into the coach. It's actually access behind here to all the Prevost electrical systems. And then you see reservoirs for things like the windshield washer, and also it has headlight washers on board. And then these are the fuses and a Blue Sea fuse holder for our systems at the dash, like the Garmin radio system. And then you see the Valid leveling system is here. So this coach also has the auto leveling from Valid. I'll pull this latch, it'll release the front bumper, and you've got access to really a nice storage area under here. This was designed to be large enough to hold like a standard 315 spare tire, like on a tour bus.
Yes, sir.
But you know, since we're running 365 for the ride, doesn't fit there very easily. So we actually use it for storage, and we put our Valid air system under here. So this is a self-contained air compressor system with cooling and dryer built in that comes from Valid over in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. They build great products. They build the air suspension leveling system for this, and they also build the air system for us. So we set that there, and then most of our customers take advantage of this space to put, for instance, totes with additional hose, if you want additional hose to wash with, pressure washer, anything like that. So this is pretty much available for your use.
Yeah, kind of a hidden little compartment down here a lot of us don't see, but I'm also noticing that steel structure.
Yep.
Is that a stainless steel? Or
this is all stainless steel structure under here.
On both sides here?
So it's all part of that stainless frame system on this coach. It's amazingly strong. In a front-end collision situation, you know, we've seen that unfortunately happen on these coaches. Structural integrity it has, it basically is like a safety cell for the driver and co-pilot. You know, we've seen significant front-end damage where the other car cannot move, and this coach can drive over and pull into the next rest area to get repair. It's a big difference, but again, it's a big investment for something of this level. You won't find the structure like this from any other manufacturer in the motorhome business other than Prevost.
Really an industrial grade machine. And one thing that Prevost does differently than everybody else in the Class A RV industry at the higher end is the split windshield. Some people are going to complain about having this post here in the middle. What is the reasoning for that?
So first of all, safety and structural integrity. So this post is not decorative. It is actually stainless steel tubing that ties the whole cage construction around the driver and the co-pilot together. The other thing, Prevost had discussed with the motorhome side of the business doing a one-piece windshield because it's pretty popular in Class A. But with everything, there's pros and cons, and they felt the cons outweighed the pros. The pros will give you a bigger uninhibited view, but each one of these panes is considerably larger than what you're going to find. I mean, it's more similar to what you're going to see in automotive, so most drivers are accustomed to it. It's actually much less expensive to replace one of these than a full wrap pane, and their commercial operators really insist on this because it's often they'll have to just swap one of these panes. The price point is way lower, and it's easier to do. So you also maintain that structural integrity from the stainless steel structural tube there.
Yes, sir, and I believe it's a taller windshield than a lot of the Class A industry windshields. I feel like you get more height in your view as well.
Yeah, you're right. It is very tall. The Epic actually has a fixed television in it, but the Featherlite, you'll see, can do a fold-up TV and have massively high windows in it as an option if a buyer so chooses.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of value in having that extra safety structure. I think up north, a lot of people call those deer catchers. That could come in handy.
Yeah, you don't want something going through a one-piece windshield and coming into the cabin with you. So.
Yes, sir. Well, really impressive exterior of this coach, but I think the folks are going to be really impressed with the interior. Can we take a look inside?
Let's do it. I've been waiting.
Awesome. Well, the latest Epic Motorcoach is extremely impressive. It feels like we're in a super yacht or something in here.
Yeah, that's the idea, Andrew, is the Epic coach has that contemporary yacht feeling to it. So you see kind of a mix of really light, bright colors and some beautiful natural wood grains. So you'll see the walnut veneer and the solid walnut battens contrasting with some really beautifully finished white oak in here. And I love this batten look. It's something you see in boats and some of the yachts, particularly that northeast style like you might see from Hinckley or a really nice builder like that. We hint at it on the entry door, then you see this design cue that goes the whole way back through the coach, including even the pocket door that goes from the salon area back to the staterooms.
Yes, and all of the angles and the lines from where I'm standing at right now, looking at this window area over here, I mean, literally we could be standing inside of a yacht right now. Just the lines of the woodwork and the window boxes, just so much different than I've ever seen in a Prevost conversion.
Yeah, it's got that yacht feel, but it's really useful. It's not overbearing. It's clean, very contemporary. You're not going to see like protruding handles anywhere in the coach either. You're going to see some of the pattern work is actually coming from the natural wood grain. So you see this type of veneer slice that actually gives this cathedral style graining. It brings the eye, but it doesn't go over the top on the pattern side. I think it's really understated, but really beautiful.
Yeah, extremely impressive to have this level of design at this price point. I was not expecting it to just be such a smooth, cool feeling when you strip $1 million in cost out. We do have the front captain's chair spun around here, and we don't see that in the H3s, but in the X3, we're able to spin this chair around. Is that something that's only, I don't know if I've ever even seen that on another Prevost conversion.
Yeah, great point, Andrew. It's specific to the X3 because the X3 is different from the H in that the salon floor is at the same level as the cockpit. So it lets you easily use the co-pilot chair to swing around and be part of the salon area when you're parked. So that's exactly what you're seeing there is we're utilizing the co-pilot seat as one of the chairs here in the salon area with an occasional table in between. So just gives you a little bit more utility there and making the most of your space.
Stepping back to the cockpit area here, the driver's chair looks like it's a little more fixed, not meant to spin around, looks like it's on air ride. And you almost have a divider here with some good countertop space, storage, a cup holder. But what all is going on in the cockpit of this coach?
So the cockpit, this chair does not swivel around for safety reasons. So this has been tested to meet FMVSS standards as a 3-point air ride seat. This is from Isringhausen, a really high-end seat, really comfortable. It's fully adjustable air ride with the availability of air and heat. What you've got is basically like a driver surround here. It's got the cup holder, integrated storage. You've got high-end sound system speakers below and above, plus a subwoofer here. The aft side of the driver surround actually houses the bulk of the electronics, like the Starlink router, and those items live right back here where they're easy to get at.
Yeah, so what's all going on in the X3 cockpit up here?
Okay, so the Epic Coach cockpit is set up with a Garmin suite on the electronic side. So you see I've got one Garmin screen here. that I've chosen the camera option on. I'm right now looking at rear view camera. It'll automatically switch to side view cameras if you wish. And then the center post screen is the navigation system. So this is the Garmin RV specific nav. And the nice thing is it's on a charge dock. You can take this off. So Andrew, I could give it to you as the co-pilot to be able to make inputs.
Yeah.
And you can actually take this thing out of the coach if you were going to go hiking or jump on your side-by-side or whatever and go out and explore. This is ready to go and work even outside of the coach because it's got a pretty long battery life. So that's a pretty cool setup. The finishes up here, you'll see we've used the ultra leather that's similar to what's used in the headliner of the coach. And then we've just got a really beautiful piano black finish on the dash, same as the top of the Prevost steering wheel. And then we've got custom upholstery on this Isringhausen air ride seat. It's got all of the basics that are delivered from Prevost as far as all your primary switching, and then it has your Volvo suite of safety systems on board. So like right now it's showing my lane departure, a warning system is enabled. It also has adaptive cruise braking, the latest in safety, all integrated into the Prevost X3. We specify all of those options on every Epic coach.
Yes, sir, and I'm seeing some switches on the steering wheel. Is that for the shades?
Yep, these switches will do shade controls. This is actually for the transmission retarder. So we take the extra cost option of a transmission retarder. So this will take the Allison transmission and add a certain amount of braking force essentially, but it's much smoother than using the service brakes, the air brakes on the coach. So I really like the transmission retarder. So it has that extra cost option on board, cruise control at the wheel, and then you've got volume up, down, as well as the buttons to walk through the Prevost menu in the dash.
Yeah, really simple, user-friendly cockpit. And then, of course, Prevost is the king of the road. We did have a chance to test drive the first Epic Motorcoach. Just an incredible ride.
Really quiet, really solid. I think you guys enjoyed the ride. You had a dB meter as well as sound meter.
Yes, sir.
Pretty quiet, right?
Absolutely. And that was still kind of coming out of production, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were buttoning that coach up when we
Yes.
filmed it. Nothing rides like a Prevost.
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
Now, there's a fixed TV above the cockpit area.
So that's a 55-inch thin Ultra HD smart TV. So we did a fixed mount here. You know, it's significantly more cost to do a folding mount, which we will probably offer that as an option, but to meet the price point, it's a nice fixed mount setup. It actually gives you a lot of windshield space here. So it really does not distract the driver. It's not in the driver's eye line. So when you look at, where we typically, will run our shades, somewhere in this area, you've got a significant and ample space to see from the windshield so that this is not a distraction.
With this TV, getting, even in a fixed position, you can easily get in and out of the coach. I remember on some of the, older Prevost conversions when they were trying to build these TV boxes, sometimes they would catch your shoulder. And I have no problem getting in and out of this coach, with that TV in the fixed place. And I would bet that probably saves 10 or 20 grand in cost to have it this way.
It does, and but it takes a lot of trial and error to get that right, to make the ingress and egress very free so that you don't have an issue hitting the television. So we worked really hard to get this as tight as it can be to the windshield and as high as it can be, and also have great viewing angle and then sound, the proper sound from the surround sound system. So we're really happy with how this came out.
Now, coming back into the coach, the temperatures outside have been dropping lately, so heat is on my mind.
Yes.
What's the heating and cooling in this coach, and does it have heated floors?
Yeah, that's a big plus on the Epic coaches, is we've got full large format tile floors that are all heated by Schluter systems. So in our experience, that's been the most successful for us at Featherlite. So we brought that over to the Epic, and I love the heated floors during the winter or even just a chilly morning in Florida.
It really comes in handy. Now, I did hear about you in one of your Featherlite coaches doing heated floors in the shower. Is that something that they did in the Epic coach?
Not in the Epic. Again, the Featherlite product is a different price point, and that's where we get kind of wild with whatever the customer wants. So yeah, just recently heated shower floor plus like a waterfall stone bench fully heated in the shower. So if you want to get wild, Featherlite is the platform to build on.
Yeah, heated bench and heated shower floors, all of those bells and whistles add up quickly. So I can understand Epic really wanting to keep the costs down. Really, this is a cost-friendly coach, but still all of those little creature comforts that really come in handy.
This has a ton of content, a lot of awesome features, so it is not a cheap coach.
No, sir.
It's got a really good price point. It's a ton of value. We really think it delivers great value.
Well, and on that note, there's somewhere where you didn't skimp money that I'm really noticing. These blinds behind you.
Yes.
They're totally flush here, and you know, when we look at some of the other product out there, there's a lot of gaps in the windows.
So this has got the high-end shade package on it and just really nice fitment on it. They're full room darkening. They're also heat rejecting, and you can control them individually. So we're very happy with how they've been performing.
And are these blinds standard in the Epic Motorcoach, or is that an option?
Yeah, no, this electric shade package is standard on every Epic coach. So again, not cutting any corners. I mean, that's something that when we looked at the package, you know, what must have and what would be an option. And to us, you know, years ago we played with manual blinds, and it's not this product. We've got to be higher end, and that's what we've done.
Understandable. Now, I know we've got some bunks. I'm really looking forward to showing everybody behind that door, and I love the way that this wood lines up with the wood in the door. Such a cool look, but is there any sleeping up here in the salon?
Yeah, so you've got a sleeper sofa here that's a jackknife style, so this will pull out to make a bed, and this is all Villa furniture, so it's all high-end, made specifically to order for the Epic coach. The reason I like the jackknife is when I'm traveling with my kids, a lot of times they'll like to pull the sofa out. If we're making a long run going, you know, from Black Hills all the way over to Yellowstone, they'll pull that out easily going down the road. You can lay there, look out the window, also see the TV. There is an option to have a full pull-out, fold-out bed, but this is how we specify most of them, is with the jackknife sofa.
Yeah, and that being manual, very easy to use, very user-friendly, and then having the bunks back there, you got plenty of sleeping in here. Now, this area up front here, is this a little bit different than the first Epic Motorcoach we saw?
It is a little bit different. So we did a bit of an evolution here. We changed up the way that this occasional table was built so that we had more usable space here. It's got the flush hardware. It's actually what they call a Gola system. So you've got your table up top, and then below we set it up with a printer style drawer so that you're able to do some business, do some work while you're on the road, and then your printer just stows away in the occasional table. But this is a great place to be able to work or relax, watch TV. But the way we're set up here with 120 volt power plus dual USBs, and you can throw whatever's on your computer screen up onto the big screen. It makes for a great office.
Yeah, and then this could almost be used, you can almost have a meal here or play a game of cards. If you had a lot of people that needed to eat and you're already using your booth, very versatile. And then there's cup holders hidden back here.
Yes.
And I like that there's just a little bit of countertop space. Say you maybe want to set your cell phone or some sunglasses down here and still have countertop space here. Lots of nice touches, very user friendly. Really nice indirect lighting as well in lots of different places. You can see, you know, on the ceiling here above the slide out, indirect lighting. And I just want to point how tall the ceilings are in this X. You know, I'm 6'2", and I'm reaching my hand all the way up and can barely touch that ceiling. So really a lot of, you know, headroom, very open feel inside this coach.
Yeah, it is, and I think the ceiling treatment is really attractive with the indirect lighting, and it's all hidden outputs for the heating and air conditioning system. And then you, of course, have that yacht-style batten motif that comes through the ceiling into the doors. So I think, you know, they've really nailed the look, and it's been really popular.
Yeah, really classic, timeless design. And I was recently at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, the biggest boat show in the world. And this is reminding me a lot of the brand new yachts that I saw had a very similar style to this.
That's good. That's
very cutting
good
edge.
To hear, because that is what we're going for here.
Yeah, cutting edge, but still timeless as well.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Coming into the Galley, that same classic wood grain style, very classic styling, but what's going on in here?
Yeah, so you're going to see it's real walnut veneer, natural wood. And again, the guys do such a great job doing the grain match. So they've got a really beautiful figured flitch of veneer here, and it all lines up.
Incredible detail, the way every one of these grains lines up on all of these cabinet doors. They are not lacking on the craftsmanship here. You can really see that attention to detail.
And what you'll see is, again, that clean look. So instead of having cabinet pulls, we actually actually just have it where you pull from the bottom. You've got lots of storage inside the cabinets with adjustable shelves. Here we've got a hidden away Viking convection microwave oven with storage above, a dual burner induction cooktop with the flush mount cover, so when you aren't using it you can cover it back up and it's just useful counter space. A really large and really useful sink with a pull-out sprayer. Down below, you'll see that same beautiful wood veneer with the grain match. Again, seeing it panel for panel lining up. Storage underneath for your tops. You got pull-out storage below.
And very well lit, I'm noticing in these cabinets, but they're not lined in carpet like some of the other high-end coaches at that $2 million level. Is there a reason that there's no carpet inside of the cabinets?
Well, they use a finished wood product, so usually the carpet is covering up, you know, whatever construction boo-boos you might have in there or saw marks or anything like that. So they actually take the extra time to have a fully finished and clear-coated cabinet interior. So I really like the look.
Probably a little bit easier to clean too than the carpet.
You can just wipe them out, and a lot of times people will put the nicer drawer liner material in if they want something a little bit softer. But I like the pre-finished interiors. This also has a pull-out with a double trash and recycling. Again, that same nice integrated lighting inside. And then you've got lots of drawer storage here. What you'll see on the drawers, they're all undermount drawer glides, so really smooth, and they have that auto closing feature where they pull themselves closed, and then you've got a latch just there to keep them shut while you're going down the road.
And then it looks like the refrigerator is very dressed out, a different design than I've seen in a motorhome before.
Yep, so what you'll see here is we're going from the natural walnut to a white oak finish. This is veneer on the walls, white oak veneer, basically like a straight cut veneer, which is actually one of the most expensive cuts because to get this straight graining, it takes a lot more wood to produce that the way they have to cut it. The veneer then goes to a solid wood corner. So this is a solid oak corner, and the reason Marco always does a solid wood corner is because it's easily repaired. So if you catch it with groceries or kids or luggage coming in, you can actually just sand this down easily and refinish it. So I like that he does that solid wood corners throughout. The whole French door refrigerator is built in. So this is a panel front. Again, no exposed pulls. It's actually a recessed pull, but this is the large Fisher & Paykel double door French door refrigerator with the big freezer drawer and ice maker underneath. And of course, it's got storage above.
Very well lit. I've got to just point out the handle system here. When we look closely at these, just a totally different, totally different design than we've seen. But I've got to say, I've been in, different motorhomes, or sometimes, especially when the slide rooms come in, it's easy to maybe catch your shirt on a latch or something. So I really like the philosophy of no latches, nothing sticking out, everything is seamless, very well thought out.
Yeah, it's got that European feel to it. And then, as we had looked at earlier, these are your touch panels. The home screen has your lighting. You've got your heating and air conditioning, what your battery voltages are doing, your electrical, full detailed lighting control. Again, HVAC, that's going to be each zone in the coach. And then here you can control your AV network, your shades, and also your doors. So I can open the door to the stateroom area from here.
This booth has a very cool style, and I want to try this out for size because there's different size booths in motorhomes, but it seems like you can really sit 4 adults comfortably.
Yes. The booth dinette had been really popular a few years ago, and we still build some in to order on Featherlite. Our most common on a Featherlite is like a J-shaped booth, but with families, this has been the most popular. And I personally like it because it's an easy place to sit and work or have a meal. I've got a great view of the TV, and I can also be in conversation with other people, friends in the Salon area. So to me, this is just so useful. It's a bit utilitarian, but done in really beautiful finishes.
I like that two-tone with the back and the seat, different finishes that really tie in together with that wood grain. And then overhead, we've got some storage here as well above the dinette area.
So you've got lift-up storage with gas shocks. Nice extra space to try to be able to use all all the storage space we can get in the coach.
Yeah, but a very nice profile where when I sit down in the booth, I'm not feeling, like I'm going to hit my head or claustrophobic.
Yeah, you got a lot of space. It's not a head knocker even for a tall guy like you.
And then I see some storage behind you here as well.
Behind the dinette, there's a big pantry area. So again, it's got multiple pullouts here for storage, top and bottom. So you've got pullouts here and adjustable shelves above. And the bottom section, multiple pullouts.
And again, very well lit. I think that's one of those options that's important. People want to be able to see what's inside. Carpet, they could put in liners after the fact if they wanted that. But I think it's a good sweet spot to have the right equipment, but not overdo it to help keep that cost down.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a nice finish inside. And if you want to add liners, or we can carpet if you prefer that. But I like the finished interior with the finished wood grain. I like the upholstery combination. The soft back is really nice with an ultra leather cushion on the bottom. It's easy to wipe up. If you have a mess after dinner and you need to clean this up, it's no problem. Other thing that's great is the additional storage you get below the dinette. So really deep, large format drawers on each side, and that's where it's got the heavy duty drawer glides that can handle cases of drinks or whatever kind of heavier items you might want to store can go right underneath the booth seating.
Well, I'm impressed with this Salon, but I think the folks are ready to see behind this first door here. You mind if I open that up?
Please do the honors.
Awesome. You just press this button and boom.
Yep. So we're going to go back to our bunk area and bath area. So there's a bunk section here that's currently configured with 3 bunks, and these are spacious bunks. These are 78-inch mattresses.
We can close these off as well if you don't want to look at the bunks. A nice way to hide that bunk area if you don't want to look at it or close it off. Now you can open and close these from inside as well.
That's right, and it doubles as a closet. So these bunks are electric. You can actually make them all stacked down onto the floor, and there's a full-length hanging rod that you can install, and then this becomes your closet doors. So like if you're not traveling with friends or the kids, like we have a lot of clients that'll maybe take the kids around during the summer or the grandkids, and then they want to go to Florida, head to Naples or whatever, drop the bunks, put in all their clothes for the winter season, and head there.
Well, and essentially you have a really big closet at that point.
Yep.
But I want to try this out for size here. I'm going to try the lower bunk here to see if I can fit. And right away I can tell it's a comfortable mattress for a bunk here. And I'm 6'2". I'm fully stretched out. We've got outlets, vents, my own individual lighting control for each bunk. Right across from the bunks is a really good sized bath and extremely bright. I love that backlit mirror. Jimmy, what's going on in this bathroom, sir?
Really spacious bath, light and bright. It's got the integrated mirror that's got heat and its own internal lighting. So it's really nice for doing makeup, getting ready, what have you. And it also has a defrost or defog on it. So a lot of function there. And then behind the mirror is a nice sized medicine cabinet. And this continues, this type of storage goes throughout the entire bath area. So you've got the integrated lighting, and then the big storage areas with adjustable shelves. And then you've got a Jack and Jill door. If you want to have the main bath door closed, you can still go back into the stateroom through your own back entrance here. We'll show you that in a moment, but you got to check out the shower, Andrew. So
it's huge.
This is a massive shower. Lots and lots of room in here. Really nice architectural glass door with a 0-degree hinge. So this will let it completely open, but you can see a tall guy like you is not going to have a problem in here. And it's got an integrated rain shower head plus a nice handset here. So you've got the handset and the rain shower head. They can both operate simultaneously. So we've got enough pump flow rate and pressure to run both, which is awesome. And with 175 gallons of fresh water on board, indulge yourself a little bit. Also like the built-in soap and shampoo holder here, so it's nice to have this with a C-rail on it so you can keep all your shampoos and everything in place while you're going down the road. And then just the really nice designer tile from the floors all the way up the walls.
Beautiful tile work, and the coloring of that tile, it's got a bluish tint to it that really brings that marine vibe. It really feels very yacht.
And remember the exterior paint scheme on the coach. It has those pearl whites. It's got that beautiful Viper blue with the chrome. I think it's a nice hint back to what we saw before we came inside.
Yeah, I think the shower's big enough that if you wanted to, shower as a couple with your spouse at the same time, I think you could comfortably have 2 people showering, and then you've got 2 shower heads as well. And this is something newer. It's almost a really small subway tile backsplash.
Yep.
Real modern design in here.
Yeah, that was something our designer from Dallas who consulted on this coach came with that. It's almost like a mini subway tile. And then, you know, it's got a vessel type sink, which a lot of people do for looks and style, but honestly, it adds another level of utility because you can use all the counter space underneath the sink as well. So it's great to be able to put a toothbrush or whatever down here with a vessel sink above. So below the sink, you've got lots of storage here, a really beautifully curved vanity. You can see it's got the Bloom soft close hinging, Southco grabber catches, and this nice curved form. And then on this end, you've got shaped drawer storage, and one of them that's particularly deep. And then as we continue back, you've got lots of storage any and everywhere we could get it.
And again, like we saw in the Galley, all of those grains flow perfectly, even around the rounded edges. Very impressive craftsmanship in this coach.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job, and I love that feature with that cathedral pattern and the walnut veneer. It's really well done. Really happy with how they do that. And they're typically applying 4 to 6 coats of conversion varnish to all of this, and it's all domestic wood. So all of these natural hardwoods are coming from the United States, and all of the lightweight plywood substrate is domestic, so free of formaldehyde.
Yeah, very high quality, built to last a long time.
Yep, it sure is.
Really impressive use of the space here, but we've still got the stateroom to see.
Yep, we got the stateroom, so I'm going to use the Jack and Jill door to go through, like the secret entrance. I'll let you in through the main hall. This is the stateroom.
Very cool, and I really like the way that that's separated your stateroom from your bunk room. It's almost its own room, and then the bathroom is neutral territory.
Well, it gives you a different level of privacy. So as an example, if I'm here with my kids, let's say you got the kids in the bunks, you can easily close off the bath, close off the stateroom. You have access to the bath without bothering the kids. And this stateroom, it's got the full big flat screen TV, all the sound, king bed, everything you need. You don't really need to leave again, and you can maintain that level of privacy. They never need to know you're coming and going.
Yes, sir, and I love the way they continued that straight line look.
Yep.
All the way through the coach. Just incredible design. And then around the king size bed here, you've got some cabinets above the bed, but still a lot of headspace and a lot of headroom. Really nice utilization of this space here.
Yeah, and you've got a really big window back here. So this is another update since the previous Epic coach, is this shade opens entirely up to behind the upper cabinets. So that's a full window, full width window across the bed, which I love. The glass, the views you can get from a Prevost are unmatched.
It looks like we've got some pretty good closet space over here.
Yep. So that's a big hanging locker above drawers. You see it's got the integrated lighting. It's pre-drilled for adjustable shelves, and it's currently configured with a hanging rod.
And then some nice countertop space to break up the different levels. And it looks like we've got some good drawer space here.
Yes.
Below. Very deep drawers as well.
And you see that shape, that nice curve like you saw in the bath vanity, repeated here in the stateroom. So good drawer storage underneath the hanging. And the lower sections, those are actually just service panels.
Okay.
Yep, so that is where the slide room mechanism resides, just below there. So those are panels that pop off, but the idea is to have a nice uniform look. It's all built in.
A very clean design, and again, all those greens are matching up.
The stateroom has got a big Ultra HD smart TV, full-on Bose sound system in here with the sound bar and the subwoofer. And then this looks nice and smooth. Doesn't have handles, but it does have storage. So again, inside here, you're going to see nice integrated lighting, adjustable shelves, and actually the Schluter floor heat control hides in this cabinet. Below, nice counter space, plus charging and 120 volt outlet. On this end, you've got deeper adjustable shelf storage with integrated lighting. Along with the storage, we've actually got 2 hampers to handle the couple who may be staying in the stateroom. You've got 4 drawers stacked here. Aft, you have another set of deeper adjustable shelves, integrated lighting, the same as you come up top.
Yeah, a lot of storage utilized in that space. And those beautiful wood slates go through the rear of the coach. Now, do we have more? It looks like we have another pocket door back there.
You do. So we see this design continue. Dual pocket doors. On the left-hand side, you'll see we've actually got a walk-in closet. So Very spacious closet, nicely finished, also air conditioned, which makes a difference. You know, when you're going down the road, we are near the engine area. That's why you have these various boxed out areas. That's the powertrain. And then we've got the beautiful walnut cabinetry in here. You've got a lot of linear hanging space and a particular spot for full length hanging here. This is adjustable shelves, integrated lighting over drawers. And I love this feature because often I'm only in for a weekend. I'll bring a roller bag with me. You put it right on this luggage tray and just pull it out when you need it. Close the roller bag and that's where it stows. Lots of storage integrated for shoes as well. So just a really, really useful closet space that truly is walk-in. When I close the closet, I'm going to show you the other side. Behind that door is the laundry center. So this was a really clever thing, I think, that our design group came up with, is to put full-size laundry units here where you can start a load, and then as you're finishing up, you're able to take out laundry, fold right here on the bed, which is kind of a natural place to do it. And then, you know, push of a button, this whole thing is then hidden again. So you get done with your chores, just go right here and close off your laundry center, and you're back to the beautiful aesthetics of this stateroom.
Now, if for some reason one of the switches on the doors wasn't functioning properly, is there an override?
Yes, so like if that panel was down, I've got switching here so I can open all of the doors from multiple locations. And then there's overrides on these doors as well. Like if you had a safety and need to dump the air off of the doors, you can manually override to make these doors just act like a standard manual pocket door.
Then we've got the power blinds here in the bedroom as well.
It shows you how big the window is.
Yes.
So with shades up, you can see you have a lot of glass here. So slide open, you're able to see aft, look out behind the coach. You have an opening window here so you can get fresh air in with glass above and to the side. And then at the foot of the bed, below the television, another large window with opening glass. So these open electrically to get more fresh air. They're also emergency exits for egress. So they have a manual click override. You can pop that window out and get out either side of the coach. So it's a nice safety feature, but I love having the glass, the views back here.
Yeah, so it's also really nice to, when you have a nice little breeze coming in and you open both of them, you get a little cross breeze coming through. Nothing better than fresh air.
Yeah, agreed.
And again, that accent lighting is so impressive. You see the different indirect lighting, you know, below the countertops. The design team just knocked it out of the park with this.
I think they did a great job, and the indirect lighting is what I prefer. Usually I'll turn off the spots in the evening, just run the indirect. It's got a really nice glow to it.
Yes, sir. Now, as clean as this looks, I'm noticing almost like an access panel or something. What's going on here?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So looking for ease of use and ease of service, that's actually the access to be able to get to the return air filtration for the rear air conditioner. So this actually just easily with a click pops right out, and then that's your filter material to be changed there. So very easy service point, and a large filter is integrated there, and then you just pop your panel back in and you're back in action.
Yeah, very user friendly, thinking about how to maintain the coach and keep everything going.
Yeah, a lot of coaches, you know, I've seen coaches where that's something that's very much an afterthought. So they may have designed an attractive ceiling and you ask them, well, how do you service the filter? And I've had the answer before where we don't use a filter, or you have to go on the roof and take the cover off the air conditioner to try to either replace a filter or clean it, and that's not really acceptable.
Now, what is the current availability of the Epic Motor Coaches? Is this coach available?
This coach is our show coach that is earmarked for the Florida RV Super Show in Tampa. So we really would like to get it to the show, and then it'll be available for viewing there and delivery immediately after. We have another coach coming shortly after that that'll debut at the Prevost Motorhome Expo in West Palm Beach, Florida, and that's going to be the new floor plan that actually has the half bath where the bunk section is. Then we have 5 more coaches in work in process that will be a mix between bunk and bath and a half coaches. So we've got good availability in calendar year 25, and you'll be able to see this at the Florida RV Super Show in Tampa. Then it's going to be available for customer delivery.
Definitely worth checking out, and a great opportunity for someone. Now, how much money does someone need to become the next owner of this coach?
This coach is listing at 1.89 million. So we're well below 2 million, and we're really interested in nice trades. So talk to Mark, Jeff, or Eric at Featherlite Coaches of Florida, and let's see what we can do. We'd love to get some new Epic family members.
Yes, sir. Brand new Prevost, under $2 million.
Yep.
And the first Epic motor coach that we had the opportunity to film, I know you were hanging on to that one.
Yes.
People wanted to buy it, but you needed to show it. It's been in the show season for a few months now. Is that coach going to be available, or is it spoken for?
We've got people wanting that coach. It's got a couple more events it's committed to, so it's going to be going to some IMSA sports car races first of the year, and then it'll be available for delivery.
Now, if someone's a serious and qualified buyer, who should they reach out if they want to purchase one of the Epic motor coaches?
Sure. So you can find us at epicmotorcoach.com. If you send us a message there, that'll go to our sales manager, Mark Eisenhart, and he will put you with either Jeff Williams or Eric Woolley, our two sales managers who are from Featherlite Coaches of Florida.
Awesome, Jimmy. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to show us around. An absolute honor. Appreciate you and the team at Epic and Featherlite. We also appreciate all of you out there subscribing, and hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thanks.